Basically, I had this idea, right? And I'm basing this off of just one thing I read from the Bible. And basically said he made us in his image, which means, or my interpretation is basically we look like him, or however you want to put it, but we look like him. So my whole thing is like, okay, so what if the human race on Earth is actually part of a master race? All these other animals and stuff here were naturally here, right? But we weren't. So we came from, or the origin of our ancestors who actually came from like a master race, right? And on their planet, technology is advanced by like so far that they wanted to do an experiment to see if they were put into a different environment, could they bring the success of that world, or the development of that world to how it is currently for them. So they go to like different galaxies and find a planet that's pretty much habitable. They place us on there, and they pretty much come and check up on us. And every so often, they give a nudge to see how far we progress with the information they give us. And I say that because it's like, y'all ever wondered, like looking at the technologies that we have, just like how we jump from this to this. Like you just look at it like how we go from like I know if you, this is just an example. This is like I'm assuming it's a weak example. I'm gonna call it a weak example because I really didn't look too much into this. This is just off my imagination for the most part, but it's just like a candle to a light bulb. You know what I'm saying? Then it's just like going from just internet in of itself, like the idea behind it, and then going from like carriages, horseback riding, all that stuff as transportation, to a car. Just like more of like development of a car. And then if you look like at the year at which, the atom was discovered and everything, how far that went. And then, it's just these, to me, I consider them like jumps compared to like what was going on around them. And then it's just like, bam, you telling me this dude had an inspiration to go and do this. Like, even if it was failed and tried again and again until he got it right, it's the fact that it's the idea of how it just popped into his head and how he had an idea to go about it, even if it passed on from one person to the next. It's just like, yo, we're gonna build a car. And then we're gonna have to build like something that keeps the car moving. So we're gonna have to build an engine. Like, even if the first car's engine looked the way it looked, I know it had to be very complex to a degree. It had to be complex. Like, I know I wouldn't be able to make something that's like that, not off an idea alone. So I don't know. And then basically that's the nudge they give us. So they come check up on the planet, and if they feel like we reached like a certain plateau, they give us a little nudge by granting us information on certain things within um, that field, or basically probably just a better understanding of how the world works, like what cause and effect kind of like thing, right? So forth. And this whole thing, like how folks have like the idea, like, oh, it's just a simulation and all that stuff. Well, what if that is true? What if we're just all just an experiment to see if we can actually create a world that is, technologically advanced in some way or form? And truly, if that is, I mean, I know it's just imagination, but let's say if that was true, then I'd say we're starting off at a good point, because most of our stuff pretty much came out about, I think, from like what, violence. And by doing that, it's just like, yo, we pretty much came a long way with that. Violence is our bread and butter. The more violence we have, the more technology we have. But nah, let me start with that. That's just another thing. That's me being retarded. Nah, but for real though, back onto the whole imagination thing. I really think it's just like, yo, it probably is just an experiment just to see if we can actually make the world more technologically advanced, and they come and check up on us, or the different planets that they chose to having it. Fuck, I'm already messed up. Choose to like place us on, and compare each one on how we are developing and which route we chose to go down. Technologically. Like, do we choose to go down on some X-Men stuff, human experimentation, and all? So basically, that's all it really is, and that's just that was just an idea. That was just a little what if. Mm, that's all. I'm out.
We're gonna stay the one song, that song over.